all happening. It's all happening at the zoo. How's it going, everybody? What's happening? I'm so glad to see you all. I owe a big thank you to Veronica for handling last week. Woohoo! What's up, people? Let's see, my glasses are a little smudgy over here. Isn't this exciting? Tuning in to watch me clean my glasses? You clean your glasses too. How are we seeing? How is this a metaphor for life? I'm so glad to be here with you all. I love our Thursdays together. And I would like to start with our what? Breathing. Why? Because we're breathing people. This is what we do. We breathe. We're breathing animals. And if we don't breathe, we get a little uptight, right? So let's take this moment to center in to the center of you. You are at the center of your life. You are the one you've been waiting for. You are the hero of your story. You are the blessing to the world. Put your hands on yourself somewhere. Put your hands on your face or your heart or your belly. Let your belly go really soft. Loosen up your hands. Soften your gaze. You've been peering. Soften your gaze, soften your throat, soften your heart, soften your judgments and your attitude, particularly about yourself. Let things get a little blurry. Let's let things get a little blurry. You ready? Let's inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thank you for doing that with me. That felt great. Hi, Veronica. There you are. I was just saying how grateful I was to you for taking over last week. And Veronica and I had a rare treat. We actually got to hang out last week. I was in LA for the week. And so we got to have lunch and have our big strategy team meeting for 2023. We've got a lot of cool stuff coming up. So it was just delightful. Veronica says it was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah. Good morning, Lori. Great to see you. Leslie, how are you? Sherry. Oh, Leslie, I have a report on the peonies. They're glorious, 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 remaining glorious. So I'm curious. I should write down something that's sort of an everyday luxury for you that you really love, that you're like, yep, I spend the money on that and I really love it. And maybe it's not even expensive, but it's just like, it's something that every time you do it, you're like, yeah. Just as I was looking for this on the Facebook group, I don't know that does it broadcast to the Facebook group, Veronica? I can't remember what our backend system is. But it should be there eventually. You share it there. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, it should be there. So yeah, what are the everyday luxuries that you really enjoy that just make you feel delicious? And if you want to share it on the chat or in the Facebook, that's awesome. Or just make a note for yourself. That is also excellent. And what is something that you don't allow yourself? Something that you think of as a luxury that you just think, oh, I can't possibly do that. And while you guys are thinking about that, I'll tell you something. When I was young, like a lot of you, I was told that I was too much, right? Too big, too emotional, too sensitive, too many feelings, too much. And so my response to that was, I can survive on crumbs. Watch me. Watch me. I will prove you wrong. I can survive on crumbs. And I did, emotionally, and in terms of the stuff that I wanted or needed. I also, there was a lot of change in my family when I was growing up. My parents married and divorced each other, and then married and divorced everybody else in the world. So there was constantly step parents and ex-step parents and moving and emotional chaos. And so I also had this feeling of like, well, whatever it is you like, don't get too used to it, because it's going to go away. Don't get too used to it, because it'll be taken from you. And then as an adult, my life was acting, which meant that I never allowed myself to get a full-time job or have a steady income, because I always needed to be available for gigs, which meant that, so I was really good at surviving on crumbs. I was really good at being broke. I was proud of how good I was at being broke. I thought there was a virtue in it. I was exhausted. I sometimes tell the story about being in Target and bursting into tears because I wanted a new pair of leggings and I didn't have the $17 to spend, or I felt like I didn't. And I was like in my late 30s. I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. So I started to change my relationship with money. I was like, this can't be that hard. Dumber people than me have figured out how to have money. And just because I don't necessarily want to spend it on what people might typically think of as a luxury doesn't mean I don't get to have it. And being an entrepreneur taught me that I am my own economy. I am my own economy. I can bring in or not bring in as much money as I want or don't want anytime, right? So some things that I used to think of as luxuries are now necessities. I flew back and forth. Like I said, I was in LA for the week, or Southern California for the week, and I pretty much only fly first class now. Part of that's because I'm 5'11", and those economy seats are just not made for you if you're 5'11". But also I'm going for work, and I need, if I fly economy, I'm wrecked for like 3 days, physically, emotionally, and if I fly first class, I'm pretty much fresh and ready to go right when I get there. So the luxury that I need is my own well-being, right? Because again, when you're an entrepreneur, you're the engine pulling the train. Everything comes from me and my creativity and my well-being and my energy. And if I don't have the energy to be here with you, to communicate with you clearly, to come up with a new class every week, then I don't have a business, right? So, and I'll spend whatever I need to on my business, on my team. We just gave Veronica a raise, and we're strategizing on how to give her another raise because she richly deserves it. I have down comforters everywhere in my house that I sit, even in the summer, because I love the feeling of a blanket on me. Here it is. I have this face oil that I love that I stopped buying for a while because I was like, oh, it's expensive, I shouldn't have it. We just bought a new house. I'm trying to economize a little bit. And then I was like, wait, I love that oil. Every morning I put it on, I'm like, delicious. So that to me is true luxury. True luxury is anything that makes you go, delicious, right? A hug from your beloved is a true luxury. A message from a friend is a true luxury. A lovely mug of tea in my Be Brave Sweetheart mug, designed by the one and the only Veronica Gazzardi, available for purchase at the realsambennett.com shop. Most of you don't need more confidence. You just need to be a little more brave. So I'm curious, what are your luxuries? Laurie says, waking up in my new condo. Yes. Does that feel luxurious? That's lovely. Heidi says, my luxury, good quality food from natural grocery stores, good supplements. Yep. Non-luxury, vacations to another state, country, and even taking time off in the first place. Yes. Yes. Veronica says, having a pet. I built a really fancy aquarium for one betta fish, and I have no regrets. He's paid for himself tenfold in the peace I feel watching him. Yes. Yes. I at the 10th anniversary of the Organized Artist Company, which was a couple years ago now, I had always wanted a pair of Gucci loafers. I don't know why. I'm not that into, you know, luxury brands of other things, but somehow those Gucci loafers just symbolize something to me. And so I decided I would get a pair. And you know, the way I framed it up to myself was like, upon the occasion of the 10th anniversary of the Organized Artist Company, which is one of the names of my business, I felt that it was important that the Organized Artist Company recognize the contributions of the CEO of the Organized Artist Company and buy this pair of $800 shoes, which I have now had resold twice. I wear them constantly. And every time I put them on my feet, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a badass. I'm awesome. I'm awesome. They make me feel awesome. And they're the most comfortable shoes I own. So these moments of recognition, right? In some ways, luxury is self-recognition. I'm worth it. My health is worth it. My well-being is worth it. And in terms of those of you who are entrepreneurs, you want to have that. You want your clients and customers saying like, well, you know, they're a little expensive, but so worth it. So worth it. And where are she can confirm that that is in fact how the purchase was presented at the team meeting that week. Yep, exactly, that's true. You know, some businesses might give you a plaque. Some businesses. I have a friend who's a very successful entrepreneur and CEO of her own business, several businesses. And one of the things she said she did, and I thought this is brilliant, is when she onboards a team member, she has them do the 5 love languages quiz, right? There's one for at work, 5 love languages at work. You guys know what that is, right? Quality time, words of praise, touch. I'm spacing on the other ones, but you know what I'm talking about. It's a wonderful quiz. If you haven't done it, it's really worth doing, and it's really clarifying. I remember when I did it the first time, I was like, oh, gifts, that's one of them. And I realized gifts was like number 5 for me. Like I don't value gifts particularly. I don't think about gift buying for other people. I don't care if people give me gifts. But I realized, for my father, gifts were his love language. So for me, I'd much rather have quality time, right? So he's like, here, I got you this expensive thing. And I'm like, why don't we go to lunch? Like, why can't we just hang out? Right? We were missing each other in our love language. He thought he was saying, yes, gifts, exactly. You know, he thought the gifts were saying, I love you. And I thought the gifts were saying, get away from me. Because what I wanted was time and words of praise. I'm a sucker for words of praise. Anyway, the CEO friend of mine does that. And so every time she wants to recognize the employee or they have a work anniversary, she gives them something that aligns with their love language. So if it's words of praise, they get they get some, written recognition. If it's gifts, they get a gift card. If it's quality time, they get, tea with the boss, whatever. And I was like, that's so important to, like, that's true luxury. That makes people feel really valued. It makes them go, oh, you see me, right? You know me. So where are you seeing and knowing yourself in your luxuries? And where are you cheaping out on yourself? Where are you telling yourself like, oh no, I can't do that. I can't spend money on a housekeeper. I can't spend money on a team member. I can't spend money on Gucci loafers. I can't spend money on flying first class. I can't spend money on, I'll tell you what, I got my hair done in LA because I love Connecticut, but they don't have LA hairdressers out here. And I spent God's own earth on this haircut, but I have to wear my hair every day. And how cute is this, right? Now, if I were in another line of work where I didn't have to be on camera all the time, I might not spend the money. So Julie says, what I do that feels luxurious: coffee in the morning, tea mid-afternoon, wine with a meal, petting the cats, quality sheets. Oh yeah, good sheets. Definitely. Towels. What I seem to not be doing is taking the time to find shoes that are both lovely and comfortable. I have challenging feet. Yes. Yes, your feet deserve luxury. Your feet deserve to be loved and I'm telling you, you can, it's a little bit like my theory with clutter, like the Uggs and the ahs, right? Lori says, love my hair. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Hair toss, hair toss, hair toss. That feeling that you have when an area is clean and organized and you can find things and you go, that's so nice, right? Like my closet, I go, right? As opposed to the giant pile of paper or the chaos or the thing that's disorganized or cluttered and you feel like, ugh, right? And I am convinced that a couple of ahs and your whole world gets better, and a couple of ughs and everything goes to crap. So what's an ugh that you could turn into an ah? Because, here's the thing, the money's going to go somewhere, right? It's not like if I don't buy the Gucci loafers, I'm going to have an extra $800 at the end of the year. The money's going somewhere. So why not have it go to the thing that you love, that makes every day feel precious, that makes you feel valued, that allows you to do your work better? And where are you not telling your, let me rephrase that so it's more clear. Where are you telling your inner self you should survive on crumbs? Where are you telling your inner self you want too much? You're not allowed to have that. It's grabby. It's demanding. Good girls don't want that. Nice people don't ask for that. That's for other people. That's not for you. Where is that voice in your head? And how can we countermand that voice? Because if you know that you consistently undercharge, am I looking at you? Yes, I am. If you know that you consistently undercharge, then you are depriving other people of understanding your luxury, right? If you sold me, I don't know, this little canvas case here that I traveled with my cords inside. If you spent hours making this and then sold it to me for $1, I'm going to treat it like it's $1, right? But if you sell it to me for $1,000, I'm going to value it. I'm going to notice it. I'm going to pay attention to the craftsmanship of it. I'm going to pass it on to my children. I'm going to feel amazing every time I look at it, right? So, and for those of you who have that feeling of like, oh, I don't think my people would pay that much, I think it's because you're not charging. You're just talking to the wrong people. The people who want to buy a Tiffany ring aren't looking for it at Target, right? And the people who are buying a Tiffany ring don't want to pay Target prices. They want to pay Tiffany prices. So they can say, do you like it? I got it at Tiffany. Do you like it? It came in a little blue box, right? Tiffany's done an amazing job of convincing us of their quality, even though they are literally a shop in the mall. So, and again, as I'm not saying that you have to, well, I am saying you have to charge top dollar for your work. I take it back. Because then when you're charging top dollar, then you can always discount it. If you find somebody who really wants your services and they can't, and they're not in a position to pay top dollar, well, then you can give them a half price deal because you've got these other top dollar clients that are subsidizing your free work or your non-work, right? So where can you be a luxury for others, right? Veronica says, when I had a 90-second process about what I want, sometimes the things I list have an or at least caveat. At the end of the process, I go in and cross those out. Right. So this or something better, right? And when I set goals, I always like to set like a good, better, best. I want to make this much, I have to make this much money. This much money would be very good. This would be like a home run, drinks are on me. Carrie says, spending on myself is super hard versus my son. With my son, I'm very generous. Right. Right. And what does that teach your son? And where's the emotional imbalance in that? You know, this ongoing message of women sacrifice, mom goes without. That's not acceptable. We've got to change that narrative. Mom does all the work. Mom does all the hard labor. Mom does everything, and everybody else gets, you know, a hot dinner served while she's still cooking, you know? It's not good. Rhonda says, I want more money and I'm tired of playing small. Exactly. 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 People are not understanding the value of what you do if you're not charging enough. Oops. Sorry. I don't know how that got turned on. Julie says, epiphany. I realize I'm not so much about holding back on spending the money, but spending the time and energy to find the right thing. This is a holdover from having to work everything around a 9-to-5 job. My hair is amazing. I love my Santa Barbara hairdresser and have considered a trip back just to see her. I'm telling you, it's kind of worth it. Amy says, when I got deeper into knitting some years back, I had the aha moment about the yarns I buy. Before I even think about selling whatever I make, I am the one who spends time with the yarn. Having the right tools and materials that are a joy to work with gives me top value in my experience of creating. Amen. Yes. Yes. What is your experience of creating, right? So, and, you know, I remember working with a client who was also doing a lot of fiber work, and she had made this beautiful crochet scarf. It was just stunning. And she said somebody had approached her about, you know, in the coffee shop. They were like, I have to tell you, your scarf is stunning. Where did you get it? Can I buy one? And she said, oh, I made it. And they said, oh, can you make me one? You know, can I buy it? And she said, I could never charge enough to make it worth, you know, the amount of time that it takes, because it was a really intricate pattern, and the quality of the yarn she was using and all of it. And I'm like, oh, you absolutely can charge enough. You know, you just have to raise your mental ceiling on what enough is, because I'm like, you could tell her it's $5,000. People pay $5,000 as is for scarves all the time. Now, maybe not again in the Target, but when you explain, you know, this is going to take me months. This is, you know, every stitch has my love in it. And people who have, you know, and obviously that's not for everybody, but the people who have that kind of money to spend love to spend it on special, unique things. They love to be able to go to lunch and say, oh, well, I met the crafts person at this coffee shop and she wasn't going to sell it, but then I begged her, and I know I have this exclusive thing that nobody else has. This is the only one in the world that's like this. She made it with her own hands. It's beautiful wool from, you know, Peru. And right. I remember Luke's mother showing me a painting she bought at an art fair. And it's quite small and not very elaborate, but these beautiful shades of blue. And she said, every time I look at it, I just go, ah. I'm like, right. So what's the value of that? I talk to artists all the time. I'm like, well, it doesn't take me very long to do it. We're not paying you by the hour, you know? So the message that you are sending by not giving yourself the luxuries that are actually necessities, by not treating yourself as worthy of luxury, and I'm so much more into the idea of luxury now, and I really get itchy when I hear people like frame things as good or bad. You're like, oh, I had a cookie, I'm being bad. It's like, cookies aren't bad or good. They're just cookies. And if you want one, you should have one. Right? A little different to say, oh, there's a cookie. It's so I'm gonna give myself a luxury. This is a luxurious cookie. Right? So let's take the moral judgment off of money. Money is not a moral thing. It can be used as a weapon of morality or I suppose, but money itself is neutral. Money itself is just your friend. Money is just standing there going, hi, can I help? Hi. You know, Amy says, amen to ending the myth of the selfless mom. For real, right? My Farrell hats were the most expensive items I offered on my table at Small Business Saturday and the only thing I sold out of. See, that's how you know you got to raise your prices. Not treating yourself as good enough to create something of luxury too. Right, exactly, exactly. So let's make a little resolution today. Where are you going to resolve to bring in more luxury, to help others experience more luxury, right? Where are you going to stop punishing yourself? Where are you going to recognize that, you taking a look at the things that you've already settled on as non-negotiable, right? Like good quality supplements, good quality food, like, we'll pay extra for organic, we'll pay extra for the really good masseuse. I can go to the Chinese foot massage for $60, or I can go to the incredible healer bodywork person for $200. What have you notice what you've already decided is like, no, this is non-negotiable. I get the good bread. I get this, I get that. What is maybe luxurious that doesn't feel worth it to you? I got talked into buying some very expensive shampoo a while ago, and I don't love it. Like, okay, not worth it. Smells nice, but I don't notice that it cleans my hair any better than the regular shampoo. And where have you been holding out on yourself? Where have you been stingy with yourself? Where do you not deserve, crave some more luxury? I think about how cats are, the way they stretch out in the sun. Where could you treat yourself like that? What will you do today? What will you do in the next 15 minutes to remind yourself how precious you are and how precious this life is? It's fleeting, all of it. So what's the thing that's going to matter to you? What's the thing that makes you say, and ah? And how can you make some of those things non-negotiable for yourself today? Right? Leslie says, appreciating this good company and reminders as I try to move out from the shadows. Yeah. Veronica says, I did switch to the fancy shampoo recently and my curly hair feels and looks so good now. Right. I mean, if I felt like there was made a difference, I would buy it again. But luxurious spaces are so uncluttered. Yes, that's true. Bar says, I've been stingy about giving myself the time to immerse myself in creativity. Yes. Rhonda says, time is a luxury. Yes. Good. Julie says, resolved. I will be setting aside time and energy to research, find, and purchase 2 or 3 pairs of wonderful shoes. Not 2, but 3. Walking, casual, and dress. Excellent. Good job, Julie. Good job. I support you and your feet. You guys are the best. So yes. What are some things that you may be spending money on that you don't actually care about? And where are the things that you're being stingy with yourself? And where are the things that you just want to affirm for yourself, like, yep, I spend the money on that and it is 100% worth it. It makes me feel delicious. I find you all delicious. Let's do one more breath to close out this circle. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for spending this time, this luxury of time with me and with yourself, because you are precious. Oh, we got a suggestion from Ortho Feet. Julie, I love my cute boots from Ortho Feet. There you go. Check out Ortho Feet. All right, everybody, let's one more breath. You ready? Let's inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thank you all. Thank you for doing this with me.